Esther chapter 5. And it came to be on the third day that Esther put on a royal apparel and stood in the inner court of the sovereign's palace, in front of the sovereign's house, while the sovereign sat on his royal throne in the royal house, opposite the entrance of the house. And it came to be when the sovereign saw Sovereigness Esther standing in the court, that she found favor in his eyes. And the sovereign held out to Esther the golden scepter which was in his hand. And Esther went near and touched the top of the scepter. And the sovereign said to her, "What is it, Sovereigness Esther, and what is your request? Up to half my reign, and it is given to you." And Esther answered, "If it pleases the sovereign, let the sovereign and Haman come today to the feast which I have prepared for him." And the sovereign said, "Get Haman at once to do as Esther has said." Then the sovereign and Haman went to the feast which Esther had prepared. And the sovereign said to Esther at the feast of wine, "What is your petition, and it is given to you? And what is your request? Up to half my reign, and it is done." And Esther answered and said, "My petition and request is this: if I have found favor in the eyes of the sovereign, and if it pleases the sovereign to give my petition and perform my request, then let the sovereign and Haman come to the feast which I make for them, and tomorrow I shall do according to the word of the sovereign." And Haman went out that day rejoicing and with a glad heart. But when Haman saw Mordecai in the sovereign's gate, and that he did not stand or tremble before him, he was filled with wrath against Mordecai. But Haman held himself in, and came to his house, and he sent and called for his loved ones and Zeresh his wife. And Haman recounted to them the esteem of his wealth and his many sons, and all in which the sovereign had promoted him, and how he had exalted him above the officials and servants of the sovereign. And Haman said, "Besides Esther the sovereigness, let no one but me come in with the sovereign to the feast which she prepared. And tomorrow too I am invited by her, along with the sovereign. But all this does not suit me, as long as I see Mordecai the Yehudi sitting at the sovereign's gate." So his wife Zeresh and all his loved ones said to him, "Let a wooden structure be made 50 cubits high, and in the morning speak to the sovereign that Mordecai be hanged on it, and go with the sovereign to the feast rejoicing." And the word pleased Haman, and he had the wooden structure made.